Hey everybody, it's your girl Precious, and I'm not even gonna hold you. Live from New York City, it's Precious Live. So as I come back from Iowa, speaking at the Athene Black and Brown Business Summit, it was wonderful, it was lit, it was awesome. What a way to be doing some things in April. But I want to talk to y'all about some business truth, some true tea. Can we talk about this right now? I feel like I got to get some things up off of my chest right now. So, being in business, and this is 14, 15 years, 3 different companies, all sorts of things. I was thinking about the things I often see online about, going loud, going all in the paint, peanut butter and jelly, ham and cheese, or real G's move in silence. So people don't need to know what you're doing. You just pop up, you just pop out. And for me, both have worked at different parts of my life. So when I started my company, Curvy Girls Lingerie, many years ago, 15 years ago, I battled with people telling me what was not possible for a fat girl, a fat black woman, and that no one would invest in my company. I'm nobody special. Stay being an attorney. Or, hey, you need this person who looks nothing like you to be the front of your company. Because you in and of yourself, you're not enough. And there was something in me that was just real indignant about it. So in order to make it in business, I have to model myself after him, or I have to model myself after her. I have to do everything online. I have to have all these systems and processes, but I can't be who I really am. I've been spent all my life working to be, at the top of my game as an attorney. And yet I wasn't really Precious. So with Curvy Girls Lingerie, I was not going to allow people to tell me that my looks, all of this are going to count against me when I knew there were so many women who needed that. Now, what does that have to do with today? I was thinking about when I started my company, it wasn't lit. It wasn't the lit time. Or being homeless and an alcoholic. That wasn't a lit time to think that I could come back after all of that and think that I could be on stage. And I think about all these people who said, you wasted your opportunity. You wasted your shot. We're going to block you. You're nobody. We're going to make sure you're never on stage. We're going to make sure of this, or look at me up and down like, who do you think you are? Homeless, alcoholic chick. And I had to make a decision. Who created me? God or these people? Am I going to let the world dictate if my business is going to succeed? I don't have the looks, talent, whatever. I still ain't got a BBL. I still don't have 6-pack abs. I'm still very much chocolate in these streets. And the fact that I'm 46, y'all telling me back in my 30s I was tired and through. So here's what I learned. There's a time to go so loud and so ridiculous because they are ready to tell you, and they tell so many people what your dreams can be. And I had to listen to my creator who told me every night at the Bowery Mission Women's Center, your second chapter is going to be better than your first. You either go big or you go home, or fortune favors the bold. And I chose to be loud and proud about certain things. And then there were times that I had to be moving in silence. We know people are losing their jobs right now. The sales aren't coming in. The math ain't even mathing. The math ain't matching. Bank accounts looking real tired and through. Rent is due. Suppliers, vendors, all of that's due. And you're freaking out. And I'm going to tell you the thing that kept me through when it was dark and hell was hot. And as DMX said, y'all going to make me lose my mind up in here. Focus. One of the things that I needed to do is when I felt bad about myself, is I needed to be a blessing to other people. So I started contacting people, telling them, I see you, I love you, I want you, I know you popping. And they don't even think they popping. Because I know what it's like to try to take my life. I know what it's like to want to take your life and think you're going to succeed. And it did not happen. It did not happen. I wasn't successful in my suicide attempt. I thought my life was over. I thought there was nothing worth living for if I didn't have awards and achievements. Everybody telling me I'm a bum, a slug in a ditch. And I had to say to myself, when God told me every night at the Bowery Mission Women's Center, because we had no electronics, no cell phones, no nothing. And I'm sitting in this beautiful space. What homeless woman do you know has a walk-in closet? What homeless woman do you know has their own bathroom. What homeless woman do you know? See, God was arranging things for me. I wasn't even recognizing the gift he gave me in being homeless and having all of those bad people fall off of me so he can show me who I really am. So when I walked out of there on September 1st, 2018, I walked out with movers. Who a homeless woman you know walks in with a blue dress, a blue coat, and a book bag and walks out with movers. That's how much love and respect was on my name. Because when I had nothing to give people, no money, no nothing, I gave them my time. I listened. I bonded with my sisters in the struggle. And I walked out scared. Pastor will tell you, Pastor James Leonard will tell you, I was scared. But I put myself out there against all odds. I've been clean and sober 8 years off of alcohol, y'all. Clean and sober. Clean and sober. I went from homelessness to living by myself now. Just renewed my lease. When you think about that, and I say all of these things, April is a difficult month for me. So what does that have to do with being loud or being silent? See, right now, the news news wants you to believe and to be distracted with there are no opportunities. But that's not true. Relationships really do matter. And not when you need something, when you don't. When you want to be a blessing to other people. When you show up and you give them the best of what you got, even if you feel crummy on the inside. There are people in the other realm. There's God in the next realm saying, I got you. I got you. The first 3 quarters of this year, I'm like, they must have got amnesia. I was on my French Montana. You know what God did? My friend, Dr. Farrah Laurent asked me to be the keynote at her conference, kicked me some dollars. But more importantly, she chose me for her very first conference. I went down there when people saw me in Tampa. Man, the phone started ringing. Man, the email started coming in because I wasn't in New York. I was somewhere else. I was showing love. I was blessed because of her. Flew out the next day to South by Southwest. Walked in with the author meetup. Walked out speaking 4 times. Private events. So I didn't need the big stuff because I see these great people in New York all the time. I don't need to be big stuff, but the private events. Thinkific. How you gonna hire me at a private breakfast? What does that mean? I'm sitting there with someone who sells millions on Thinkific. I've sold thousands. And yet I'm sitting right next to him and we going toe to toe, blow for blow, bar for bar. And they feeling it. You got to make the most of every opportunity. But how does all of this happen? You got to be good to people when you didn't need something and they going to remember you. What am I saying to all of y'all right now? They're going to be haters all day long on you. You don't look, sound, and act a certain way. Baby, I was doing an audio course with my client yesterday and they were cracking up listening to me say, oh, you need to be voiceover. We need you for more. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But more importantly, y'all, I was at the Jacob Javits Center years ago with Curvy Girls for Circle of Sisters Expo. I don't even know if they do that anymore. And I remember how I felt in this huge space for this expo. And here we are in 2025, 13 years ago. And I'm keynoting in front of 14,000. The speaking engagements aren't over. The opportunities aren't over. But you have not connected with people to show them who you really are and that you're worthy and that you will turn up and turn out. You got to show up and show out. Y'all ain't got on no makeup but some lipstick. I want y'all to see the good, the glam, the bad, and the ugly because it never stops. So whereas I thought people had amnesia, God was just rearranging things. And I'm telling you, April, this is the 25 years my grandmother died yesterday. I had a nervous breakdown April 12, 2004, when I was at Rutgers Law School, got kicked out of Georgetown University Law Center. And here I am today just coming back from Iowa. So I say all of this with the utmost sincerity. Hold on, y'all. Let me get out. Hold on just a second. With the utmost sincerity. So the thing I want y'all to hear and hear me clear, relationships matter. They matter. And so what I want y'all to know, Whether you go loud and proud, shameless self-promotion, make sure you're showing up for others. Make sure you're blessing them. Make sure you're on their posts. Make sure that you can. Whatever you can do to make somebody else feel loved and appreciated, I need you to do that. You may not be able to go to everything. You may not be able to show up. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you. You did a great job. But my point is, for all of y'all, is if you can show up in some way, do. You never know. I will always thank God. I will always thank God for Joanne Francis, the social worker who saw me when I was in and out of psych wards over a decade ago. She's still with me today. And she's the reason why I was in the Bowery Mission Women's Center. She's the reason. She spoke love over me. She said beautiful things over me. So I'm telling you, your angels aren't all in business. They are other places. There are chambers of commerce. There are all these other places. And even if they, like I said, even if they can't, they're not hiring you. I'm trying to do this right, y'all. Even if they can't hire you, even if like whatever, but they know people who can. And it's not that you're asking them. They just see you at the right time. They see that you are stunning, that you're stunting. The clients that I have, y'all, whether they're big tech, financial services, or real estate, that didn't just come just because. Hold on, because I know I'm outside. Y'all know how your girl be. Anyway, I was trying to do this on Instagram and got cut off. So y'all know how it be in these streets. So hold on, I'm gonna come over here before I go in the building. It feels so good here, y'all. But my main point in saying all of this to you all, whether you decide to go loud and proud, whether you decide to go ham and cheese, whether you decide to go silent, think about this. There are people saying your name in beautiful spaces right now. There are people who love you, who've never told you they loved you, but they've been saying your name out there. So when it's dark and hell is hot, and as DMX said, y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. I've lost my mind. I've had really bad things happen to me. But if it wasn't for my grandmother when I was 15 years old telling me that when I speak, people listen, that I was worthy of being called the golden child, that she would be with me. It's 25 years later. I still see her on every stage I'm on. I still hear her say, give it to him, P. I'm from St. Louis. I'm from the show me state. So if you think you acting bad, you're going to have to show me. More importantly, I show y'all that I'm at the spaces I'm talking about. I'm not just posting and y'all never hear anything. So I want you all to know, when I speak at the Jacob Javits Center next month, when I speak in Boston next week, when I'm flying all over the world, the nation, whatever, sometimes you do have to leave where you are to see other opportunities. When I was in New York, I just didn't feel seen. And I think that's also because, people know you here. But other people are so happy to have you. So it may require you to do something you don't usually do, but go other places, go to the next state or whatever. And some people, they've never had a chance to appreciate you in person, but they will now. Sorry, y'all. But I want y'all to know, whether you go loud and in the paint, whether you want to slice and dice, you get on your shameless self-promotion. Don't you ever let somebody trick you out of your light. Don't you ever let somebody tell you what's impossible. I'm not a part of every big group under the sun, and that's by design. There are people who will block you and keep you out of things. Just know we serve a God that will put you in spaces and places they can't even get into. I am not the most known speaker in the world, but it feels good to be known by the right people. People who, even if they can't hire you, they're trying to put your name out there for other things. So do know there are people saying your name in spaces. It might not manifest that month, might not even manifest that year, but they've been talking about you. And when it manifests, it's always at the right time. You may be behind in rent, all sorts of things right now. You can focus on that. You can focus on the distraction of the news. It's never going to get better. I don't believe it, because if I walked out of parents who didn't want me, if I fled St. Louis when I was 18 for Spelman, Georgetown, Rutgers, kicked out, tossed out, kicked to the curb, homeless, alcoholic, lost the love of my life right after Shark Tank. And even then, with all of that happening, business partner, like all sorts of things have happened. And yet hold my head up high. One, because Joe at the Bowery Mission Women's Center told me to hold my head up high because I'm Precious Williams. And it doesn't matter what has happened. God has already known it was going to happen. And sometimes you need to be taking a rock bottom for him to get all the cling offs away from you and for you to know, stand on your business, stand on business. If they disrespected you, they will continue to while you're around them. God created you alone. He knit you in your mother's womb. And so he don't need a cosigner. My first business gave birth to my second, which gave birth to my third. And the one thread through all of that was pitching. Pitching at 327. Pitching as a fat girl. Pitching as a non-Ivy League graduate. And next week, even though I don't know what's happening. Speaking of Columbia University, this is my third or fourth time. Don't ever let people play. Because don't you play about, if they play about you, don't you play about your business. Don't you play about your what you do in this world. I'm not the most well-known speaker, but if I'm known by the right people, I'm good. So while I thought people had amnesia, no, it's been a difficult time for everybody. But it does not mean that you give up. You better stay focused on your focus and get around the kind of people that are put on your big girl panties. And they'll put on their big boy briefs and big girl panties with you. And they're not going to let you sit up here and just sit in the muck and the mire and believe everything the news tells you. It's supposed to distract you, to get you to not do anything. I hope I hold your hand through all of this and say, when they telling you it's impossible, what you going to do? You're going to say, I'm possible. God is possible. God is a God of everything. And there's nothing is impossible and nothing is out of reach. So as I go into the crib, I want y'all to know whether I'm at rock bottom or all the way to the top, let's get it popping. And you're worthy. Whether you had the perfect body, the perfect skin, or all of that, y'all look so beautiful. So what I'm saying to all of y'all, let's get this work. I'm going to just address all of y'all. Just make sure. Hey, Jason, proud of you. I'm proud of you too. Focus. I'm there. Okay. Ramon, I'm with you here. Ramon, I know that's right, Ramon. You know, we go back like beans and cornbread. God is here and you still look good. Come on, Ramon. Jewel, hey, Jewel. Y'all don't know. Some people on here had my back when I had not a dollar. I had a place to stay. I was going to be on the subway just riding it out. Jewel is one of them. And you know, Jewel, how far we go back. Let's see. Ramon, loud and proud. Yes. And for those who say real G's move in silence, just know that at different parts of your business, some things you won't put out there until the contract is signed or until after you've stepped off that stage. Naya, glad you're here. Yeah, in your hood, it's often tougher. It is. It is. I have such a respect for St. Louis today, but I just didn't think I would, I was a little precious. My grandma's big precious. And I'd been in the media a lot, but I just felt like I knew I was going to live in New York City. And now that I'm here and I've been here 20 plus years, I can go other places, but there's a cachet around me now. And so the respect I didn't think I had, I built it in different cities. And that's why it means a lot to me. You don't have to be the most popular. Your events don't all have to sell out. But if you have the right people in the room, I promise you it changes. So let me just make sure I see everybody because I don't. Wait, let me just, is that everybody? I feel like that can't be everybody. Okay, hold on. Okay, so yeah, God don't need no cosigner. They say you're not cute enough, tall enough, or whatever. What does that difference does that make? They said I'd never be on Shark Tank, and I did. And I was. And I'm still booked, busy, and paid for what I do. The only difference is that, Ramon, I know you feel this. Them 30, 60, 90-day terms. Dang, you know what I'm saying. Come on now. Come on now. But at the end of the day, y'all, what if they really like you? I was listening to, I think they like by them Franchise Boys. And he was like, I think they like me when they hurt me on the other one. But anyway, I'm not the most social media person. I don't have millions of followers. But it is nice that the followers I have are real. There's no bots. And that makes companies want to work with me. When you have 89,000 followers or 140,000 on your email list and stuff like that, that's real. That's not some fake stuff. And I did that when nobody was looking and nobody was watching. You keep putting yourself out there. Speaking has been the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Pitching is the second greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Because by being able to communicate on stage, in real life, in person, and showing my real personality, I'm no longer what people, used to think I was. I'm not a robot. I'm a real person. And so you all, thank you. I'm not at Coachella, but I was in Iowa getting it popping. Okay. So just know if you were booked all over the place, someone's saying your name, and trust that God is saying your name in spaces. Maybe the job you had Maybe he's pushing you out there. Or maybe there's an opportunity you've never looked at because you were working. So there are things that are happening, and please don't give up. And please reach out to people just to say you see them. You'll be amazed at when they do the same thing back to you when you are having the worst day. So I love you all from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul. I hope this resonated with you all. And so I'm about to go in here and handle business. Happy Easter to everyone. Passover, like whatever you're celebrating, keep doing it. I love you all. If I said anything today that resonated, let me know. But it's time for me to get on up in here. And I love y'all. Take care.